Good morning and welcome to Raoul's house. Yeah, shot of the broom. Got to get him in early. Feels neglected, the broom. Yeah, this is a kind of Bitsa day. Bits of this, bits of that. I'm in here today screwing down floorboards. Well, that's going okay. I've got to about here now, the odd ones. But I found ones that are nothing to do with me that squeak. I'm going to have to fix these. There's another one over here. There's nothing worse than a room that sounds like the deck of a ship. So I should walk around and find any squeaky ones. I'm a fair old weight, so I should find them. Yeah, so that's what we're doing today, just screwing these boards down. Because I've got a carpet fitter coming in, I want to try and minimise the dust of it so he doesn't come out looking like a snowman. So I've given it a hoover between all the cracks and I'm mopping it now, and I'll probably have to hoover it again and mop it again. That's the way it is. I told you the tale of when my father fell out of the loft, and my sister rang me yesterday and said, look, you should tell that tale properly, so I'm going to. Now, my dad was 80 when he did this. He's gone now, but anyway, he was 80 when he did this. Why he was going in the loft, I don't know, but he'd gone up there, I think, if I remember rightly, in Crocs or slippers, something like that. Probably to go and adjust his hair or I don't know. Don't know why I'd gone in the loft. Anyway, he fell out of it. Obviously missed the steps. Hit this banister rail, right? Hit the wall, the opposite side. Went all the way down the stairs. Oh, that's horrendous, isn't it? 80. And ended up against the front door. Well, my neighbours, Phil and Bernie, they always looked after me dad, you know, and they heard him go down the stairs. Well, it must have made a hell of a racket, but he ended up against that front door, and they came to the front door, and Bernie said to him, look, I'm going to have to break down the front door to get to you. Well, amazingly, and bearing in mind I think he'd broken his collarbone, fractured several ribs. Pretty bruised it was. At hearing that his front door was going to get pushed in or broken in, he got up and opened the door. So that's why that door is still intact. I've got my father to thank for that. Yeah. So that's how he ended up out of the loft, hit the rail, boom, hit the wall, and then ended up down there. He was in hospital for several weeks, and he actually went on to live another 5 years. I filled over that fan switch that I was working on yesterday. It's still a little bit warm in the loft, and they do say it's going to get cooler in the week, so I won't attempt going up there. I did sensibly leave the relevant cables hanging down so I can strip them back, etc., without cooking up there. But if it cools down a little bit in the week, then I'll quite happily sit up there and finish that off. The last of these upstairs locks that I need to strip. Paint's quite thick on this one, but well, we'll see what we can do with it, and we'll bring it back in the morning and refit it. I wouldn't say it's easy to strip these locks. 4 or 5 hours soaking in paint stripper, and all the scraping and wire wool, and then trying to neutralise it and get them clean, then give them a slight sand, do give them a bit of a key, and spray them with high temperature paint. It's quite hard paint, VHT paint, and then bake it in the oven as here for an hour. Tuesday morning, decidedly wet. Anyway, done that lock. It's a bit wet because I've just come in through the rain. But, would help if I had my right glasses on. Managed to find some brass screws in my father's shed for the ends, and but the brass screws for these, well, they haven't arrived yet, so I'm going to have to wait for those. Anyway, we'll get that lock put on. The next thing to do is get this off the other side of the door. It's only held on with a couple of screws, one here and one there. Another door handle kit. Right, put that on, and there we go. Good job. This switch outside the bathroom for the isolating the fan, that's all been sanded down nice and smooth now. That's ready to paint. More importantly, we'll get the switch put on. We'll do that next. Yeah, just the earth to connect there, and I shall connect these into this screw on the back box, and I'll check at the fan end that I've got continuity, even though I don't think it's actually needed on the fan anyway, because it is a plastic case and it's out of the way and it's pretty well isolated, so I guess it probably doesn't need one. But important to keep the continuity as far as you possibly can anyway. Yeah, so that's all finished now and smoothed off. A mist coat of paint on it. The only thing now to connect that up is because the bathroom light is constantly live at the moment, so I'll have to disconnect the power from that, wire up the fan in there when I find the wiring instructions for it, and then put everything in the junction box there. I've got a couple of lights, wall lights, going either side of the hallway, but I've decided that it probably needs some spots downstairs on this floor just to light the passageway up. Just put them on the same circuit really. If I don't want them on, I can always take the bulbs out, can't I? Yeah, so that's that. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.